addicted to. Once you actually understand the way that hormones influence the
I just saw that Tucker Carlson said he's not supporting. Can you bring that up? Tucker
come in
Carlson said
frame?
he's not supporting Republicans in the midterms.
Boy.
Yep. I think he's leaving the Republican Party.
You're a good dog.
Longtime conservative commentator Tucker Carlson said on a podcast that there's no chance I would support the Republican Party ahead of the November midterm elections. Not going to support the Democratic Party. Carlson was quick to add, I don't know what I'm going to do. Carlson supported Trump in 2024. Did he say why? They're making decisions on the basis of other criteria. What's best for this company? What's best for Israel? Oh, that's right. He said he felt like it was becoming an Israel first party and not America first. That's a big person to not have support from, because he's been a big supporter of the Republican Party for a while. I've been a consistent defender, he says, for 35 years of the Republican Party. I mean, very consistent defender, but there's no defending this, he said. So, no, I'm out. What's your response to that?
Well, I know Tucker. He is very, very smart. He's very articulate. He has fallen out with President Trump and with those of us in the Senate who support Israel. He primarily fell out with President Trump over the conflict in Iran. Now, I've been very supportive of the president on the conflict in Iran. I don't want America to be the world's policeman, but I don't want Xi Jinping in China or the Ayatollah in Iran or Vladimir Putin in Russia to be the world's policeman either. And these are hard men. They understand one thing.
Why does he know about their
strength?
Phallus's status?
If you turn the other cheek to these people, they'll just stab you in the neck. Now,
what proof of that is there?
You just look at their actions. Iran is the world's foremost exporter of terrorism. Putin, who now, of course, runs Russia, wants to dominate Eastern and Central Europe, which is President Trump has gotten Europe to start spending more money on defense, but we've always had to defend them. I can tell you what President Xi, I've met with President Xi. He is very clear. He thinks that China is ascending. He thinks America's in decline. He thinks while they're building ships and nuclear weapons, he thinks all we do in America is sit around and debate whether a man can breastfeed. And he and Putin and the Ayatollah in Iran are working together. And China's goal is to dominate the Indo-Pacific, to be free to roam in sub-Saharan Africa and South America.
That is something
the
hardcore isolationists just don't have an answer for.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, China is supporting Iran right now. China is supporting Russia in the war in Ukraine. There's no question. China buys all of Putin's oil. We sanctioned a lot of their oil when Putin invaded Ukraine. So he can't sell it because oil is traded in dollars. He sells it to China. Look, I don't hate anybody, and the Chinese people, to the extent that the Communist Party in China will let you interact with them, are lovely people. But they are determined. They hate America, and deep down, the Iranians are worse. But deep down, they want to kill us and hurt us the entire time we're dying. Now, that's my point of view. Tucker will have a different point of view.
Yeah.
He thinks that we're too close to Israel.
I think a lot of people, from people that I see all the time, that's the number one thing that people say. They think we're too close to a country that's created a genocide against Palestine, and then is like in conflict with these other people around them. That it seems like they're just like kind of the bullies of the area. It's like it feels like they're the terrorist organization. That's what it seems like to a lot of people.
A lot of people believe that. I'll give you another point of view. The real problem in the Middle East since forever since God was a baby, the real problem in the Middle East is Iran. And Iran wants to dominate it. And Iran funds Hezbollah and Hamas. Israel is surrounded by people that want to kill them. Syria is different today, but Syria, Hezbollah was in control of Lebanon. Hamas, an arm of Iran, was in control of the Gaza Strip. Hamas attacked Israel, and the Israelis fight back. And they took over the Gaza Strip, and yes, a lot of Palestinians got hurt. And
not got hurt. I mean, got killed.
Got killed and hurt, and but Hamas would hold the Gazans hostage. They would put them out front.
But how do we even know that? They killed 220
because
something.
We've seen it.
But they killed 220 something journalists that went there to document what was going on.
There's no question there have been civilian deaths.
They wouldn't let journalists in to even document what was happening there.
There have been civilian deaths, but it is primarily the fault. I'm not saying Israel is blameless. Look, war is ugly.
Yeah, but is this war?
But it is war.
You think it's war?
It is war.
They just had an article yesterday that came out from the UN. If you could find that, it was about, they'd done like a deep dive on the killing of children, right? And some of the massacring of children. Israel continues to commit genocide atrocity crimes by deliberately targeting Palestinian children, UN Independent Commission finds. Even after the October 2025 ceasefire, children continue to be killed and seriously injured, with continued disregard by Israel for the ceasefire and for the protection. Let me see what else here. Here's some findings.
I healed so much, it didn't matter.
Israel has killed 20,000 children and injured 44,000 more.
That's unhinged.
October 7th, 2023.
Almost up to 100,000 children.
Palestinian children have been arrested and subjected to torture and other severe forms of mistreatment in Israeli prisons. This is all part of, let me see, United Nations.
Well, first, I wouldn't believe it if it came from the UN.
Oh, really? They're not. Do you feel like they're not liable?
They're not. They're not objective.
Sorry, reliable.
They're not objective.
Okay.
They're not objective.
Well,
number
that's
two.
It's tough.
Number two. And I know children got killed, and it breaks your heart. Hamas kills children too. So does Hezbollah. So does Iran. Do you think the Ayatollah doesn't care about the Iranian people? The Persians are some of the most talented people in history.
Mm-hmm.
When they disagree with the Ayatollah, they hang them. They just hang them. And I think, I don't speak for Mr. Carlson, but he says it's not our business. And I guess to some extent he's right, but I'll tell you what is our business, is letting them get a nuclear weapon. Because if they get a nuclear weapon, these people are like Charlie Manson. They're crazy. I mean, there's really crazy is rare. These people, though, are with the Iranian leadership, it's commonplace. If they get a nuclear weapon, they will use it. Not just on Israel, but on Europe and on us. And even if they don't, once they get a nuclear weapon, you will have other countries, Japan, South Korea, other countries, Saudi Arabia, get nuclear weapons as well. And the more people that have nuclear weapons, more likely you are to have war.
Yeah.
But Tucker would probably have another point of view. But I really like Tucker. I think he's really smart.
Oh, yeah. I think Tucker's a neat guy. I mean, from what I know about him, he seems like, I believe that he's earnest, like in his search, you know. I believe that he, I don't know. Yeah, my interactions with him have always been good, you know. It's just that when they kill the reporters who are trying to get honest information, they're killing reporters, you know.
I don't think it was intentional, but
they had one that they shot directly in the face, and then at her funeral, they attacked the people who were carrying her. Can you find her name? We just talked about her last night. Sorry to go in all this.
No, it's okay.
But they at her funeral they even attacked the people who were giving her funeral. Shireen Abu Akleh was a prominent Palestinian-American journalist who worked as a reporter for 25 years for Al Jazeera before she was killed by Israeli forces while wearing a blue press vest and covering a raid in the Jenin refugee camp.
Obviously, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But here's what you have to understand about the world. And I don't know why this is. If I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask God. But there's some people out there in the world. They're not sick. They're not mixed up. It's not that their mama and daddy didn't love them enough.
No, please, we can't afford this. We can't afford the sale. Afford it? No, we can't. We can't afford the sale.
Well, if you can't afford it now, then what's another 4?
What? This is the world's strongest man, Mitchell Hooper, and for every time he can lift my body weight, you get 4% off. 195 pounds. I'm hoping you get like, what, 3 or 4 reps, maybe 5, maybe a 20% off discount.
I think you guys are in for some savings.
They've just got black hearts.
Yeah.
And some of them run countries. North Korea, Russia, China.
But what are those
Iran?
countries actively doing right now? Like Bibi Netanyahu and the Israeli government is actively, from a lot of people believe, and I believe a lot of voters believe that they're actively have committed a genocide in Palestine, and then they've gone into Beirut to Lebanon to Iran. You don't believe they are?
I don't believe that. Okay. I believe that Hamas which is an arm of Iran. Hamas dominated Gaza. Hamas attacked Israel. Hamas was hiding behind the Palestinian civilians.
All of them?
All of them. All of them. If the Palestinian civilians didn't obey Hamas, they would kill them. Okay?
Okay.
Hamas was in complete control. Israel attacked. When Israel attacked Hamas, many civilians got killed, and it was regrettable. But what are you going to do? Iran was physically hiding behind them. While that happened, Hezbollah from Lebanon, funded by Iran, attacked Israel. And all Israel has done is fought back.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that in the fog of war there haven't been innocent people killed. There have been.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. But it's not like Israel is the bad guy, and Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran are the good guys, because they're not. And these weakness invites the wolves. I wish it weren't like that. I wish it weren't. I wish you could sit down and reason with them. But it's like talking to Charlie Manson. He was stone cold crazy.
Yeah.
And these people believe if you don't accept their religion, their form of Islam, then you should die. And they think they're on a mission from God. Now, look, I think that Islam is, if you want to be...
you think that's true? And you would know, I mean, I don't have
I don't have experience
Islam,
in that. Hindu, your religion is your business. In America, we have freedom of religion. But if my religion told me that I had to kill a bunch of other human beings to advance my religion's call, if Christianity taught that, I couldn't be a Christian.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be heartbreaking.
Yeah. But they really believe that. And
And how do we know that?
Because they've done it. What they did in October, was it October 7th? They raided, they raped, they cut off Israeli people's heads, they kidnapped them. What they've done to American troops in Lebanon, it's widely known. Look at what they did. They started shooting at the Saudis and the UAE. That's not the good people of Iran. That's their leadership. They're religious zealots.
And didn't we take their Ayatollah out?
We took the first one out. They've replaced him with his son, but he's in hiding.
Dang, bro. And that's nepotism. Yeah. I mean, we got to call that what it is.
Well, nobody wants. Nobody.
Why could I not eat through that wall?
That's
That's
wants the
unhinged.
job.
Nobody wants the job, man. Our military is the greatest military in all of human history.
Amen to that, dude.
It's
we're
just
so
extraordinary.
We're so lucky, man. I mean, we're just lucky to be in a place where we can at least like think and try and explore ideas and try and learn. And even if we don't know stuff, you know, we can try our best. But wasn't there some evidence that Hamas was funded by Israel, though? Like it was back channeled through Qatar or something? Can you look that up?
Qatar has funneled money to Hamas before.
They're a middleman.
No, we have. I'll be shocked. I'm a United States
But money
senator.
from Israel
No,
through.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that. I
Maybe
know
not,
there's stories, but I just don't believe that
Yeah.
because I've been to Israel. I've talked to the Israeli people. They don't want to be at war. But
Then why are they at war with everyone? Then it feels like over
well,
there.
they're at war with Hezbollah to the north because Hezbollah keeps shooting missiles at them and digging tunnels, and they're terrorists. And they're at war with Hamas because Hamas attacked them,
Yeah.
and until they took out their missiles, kept shooting missiles, and they're at war with Iran because Iran is behind all of it. And I wish we didn't have to do any of this, honest to God. I've talked to President Trump about it. He doesn't want to be in conflict with Iran. But we cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. We cannot. These people are stone cold crazy.
Presenting Odd Pieces.
That looks so cool. What is it?
It's a new kind of puzzle.
I've played puzzles before. Lots and lots and lots of puzzles.
This is different.
We love puzzles,
but the experience is always the same.
so we wondered, how do we make it more fun?
More exciting.
How do you make a puzzle surprising?
Let's see what's inside the box. Odd Pieces is a puzzle with original artwork and 1,000 pieces. It's a Wimble builder, a comic book, a treasure hunt with mysteries and secrets. Oh, and the picture on the box is different from the puzzle you put together.
Wait, why would you want to build a puzzle if you don't know what you're putting together?
That's what makes it more.
Yeah. I guess it's tough to. I think when you see like videos and stuff online, it makes you just see like, I don't know. It just makes your heart hurt. Like, there was a report the other day in that UN report that there was like a 14-year-old kid.
Yep.
Who they shot, and then they just stood around and watched him bleed to death. And when his mother tried to come to him, they just.
"45
like, would
minutes."
shoot at her, and then these soldiers just stood around and watched him bleed to death, and it's just kind of
I
heartbreaking.
know it all breaks.
They
your heart.
definitely have
And
no
that's why you
qualms
don't
with dead children.
want to have to go to war, but put yourself in the president's shoes. Our intelligence. Here's what our intelligence showed, and I've seen it. It's classified, but I've seen it. But I can give you a general outline. Our intelligence showed that Iran was building up its missile capacity, both ballistic and cruise. And they were going to compile so many missiles and drones that they were going to turn to America and Israel and say, we're restarting our nuclear weapons program. And if you try to stop us, we're going to destroy the rest of the Middle East. And by the way, our missiles can now reach London and Paris, and Germany.
And
Berlin.
you saw reports that
I've
said
seen
that?
the intelligence.
Okay.
And President Trump was faced, well, do I let them continue? He had already bombed some of their nuclear facilities. But he was faced with the decision, do I let them get to the point where they have so many missiles and drones, ballistic and cruise, that they could destroy the Middle East, that they could hit London, that they might even be able to hit the United States, or do I go in to stop them? And he did.
Right.
And
Can you hit it
we
or not?
haven't destroyed all of their missiles. But if you go to Iran today, their whole swaths of Iran there, they look like something out of Mad Max 4. I mean, we've destroyed the public sector, the private, big portions of the private sector didn't want to do it. It'll take them 20 years to recover. I mean, our military, I'm not going to bubble wrap it. They went in and our military ate them and spit out the bones.
Yeah, yeah.
And they are not right now a nuclear threat, but they still have the centrifuges
You one item ayyy
to take their
fucking
fissile
life steal
material and make it make a warhead.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had seen the intel on that.
We have a basement, an underground room in the Senate that's we call it the skiff. It's completely secure. You can leave all your electronics outside, and I've been briefed, all of us have, by Rubio, by Secretary Hegseth, by Secretary Rubio, the Joint Chiefs, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
And do you trust those guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. John Ratcliffe from the CIA. I trust every single one of them.
Amen. Okay, yeah. I'm not in the space, so it's like, it's from our perspective, just as a regular person, you just see all of this stuff, and it seems like so one way. It seems like you were saying, like, you feel like the truth comes through and you know what it is, right? Like we were saying in the beginning or whatever, like what we see and perceive as, okay, this is real, or this is earnest or whatever,
No.
It's like that's the way that a lot of it seems.
Well,
let me get this note real quick before you
Sure.
go, and sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
This is here. In a controversial deal, Israel's government under Benjamin Netanyahu supported Qatar's payments to Hamas for many years in hope that it would turn Hamas into an effective counterweight to the Palestinian Authority and prevent the establishment of a Palestinian state. So maybe there was some funding, but it wasn't clear on what it was for.
Well, if they gave aid, there's a footnote there. I don't know the authority for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
If they gave aid through Qatar to try to help the people of Gaza, so they wouldn't join up with Hamas, that's a different thing from them
supporting Hamas. Yeah. And what did you look up there? I'm going to look it up one more time. Can you put did Israel support Hamas? Can you just put that question? Let me see. Israel did not directly create Hamas, but from the late 1970s through the 1990s, the Israeli government provided covert support and funding to the Islamist movement that preceded it. This strategy was used to counterbalance secular Palestinian nationalist groups like the Palestine. So they may have inadvertently supported it by trying to support something else, I guess.
Hamas is a spinoff of the Palestinian PLO, Palestine Liberation Organization. But once Hamas spun off, they got all of their financial support from Iran, almost 90% of it.
Got it.
And without Iran providing the money, neither Hamas nor Hezbollah could exist, and they are terrorists.
Fucking emerge.
Did Iran fund Hamas? Let's look that up then.
Get a free FI collar when you
I feel like that part's pretty undisputed.
A free FI collar which tracks.
And thanks for discussing it with me.
Sure.
Yes, Iran
It's an important subject.
Yes, Iran has funded, armed, and trained Hamas for decades. Tehran considers the group a key part of its axis of resistance and provides tens of millions of dollars annually to support its military and operational capabilities.
And look, I'm not saying Israel is perfect. I'm not saying that, okay? None of us is perfect. But look at it this way.
Yeah.
There are certain areas you could walk down. If you walk down at 2 o'clock in the morning in Nashville, let's say, there are people there that would hurt you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why. Like I say, if I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask why people, want to hurt other people. But they do. And that's the situation that Israel's in.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, a more concrete example.
Or like the hardest part about the
my
Israel
wife
thing
has
is like
Okay, I respect that.
every option,
but
every
I
instance
own
they have to make something worse, they do, and then they complain about
Do
how
I
bad the
believe-
situation is,
Do I hate everybody else?
and ask us to
I believe
protect them
love
from
is
it.
the answer. But I own a handgun just in case,
Amen.
because I know there are people out there And if they try to hurt me or my family, I'm gonna defend myself and my family.
Yeah.
And that's, I wish the world weren't like that, but it is.
Yeah.
And there's some very
Not
powerful
get my Q stacks.
that they hate America. They just hate us. They do. And you can't reach them through diplomacy. Doesn't mean you shouldn't talk to them. But with a guy, I've looked President Xi in the eye. Okay, I've met this guy. With hard men like President Xi or the Ayatollah or Putin in Russia, weakness invites the wolves. And getting too close to them, it's like hand feeding a shark. Wish it weren't like that. Wish it weren't. I think President Trump has understood that.
Do you think that America will support like a pro-Israel candidate like in the next election? Like Trump has been pretty pro-Israel overall. Do you think that will affect how they vote in the next election?
Yeah, it's going to be a big issue. My Democratic friends, not all of them, but the wing of the what I call the loon wing of the Democratic Party that's in control, they hate Israel. And they support, they say they support the Palestinians.
Well, they hate the government, not the people, right?
No,
right. We're talking about the
I
government.
don't want to believe they hate the people.
Okay, yeah.
But they hate that's fair. That's a good point. They hate the government.
Yeah, and that points across the board in this conversation.
That's a fair point. But they support Hamas. I mean, I'm sorry, they just do. That's why I call them loon wing of the party. And that will be a big issue within the Democratic primaries. But there are a lot of Republicans that think we're too close to Israel.
Well, I mean, it's just that's what's so interesting about
Tucker's one.
Well, Tucker's saying that because Tucker has one of the top 10 podcasts and platforms in America.
Yeah.
So for that to be his direction and that to be how he feels.
And he really believes that.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people feel exactly like he does, you know? So that's why I'm wondering, do you think like an Israel first politician could win?
How's he getting all these cues? God
Could
damn.
lose. Look, this is a big, wide open, diverse country.
Yeah.
For both Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah.
And in our country, you can believe what you want and say what you think, and I support this dialectic of ideas where ideas compete.
Yeah, that has to have it.
Yep, and that's why God made elections. But I want people to and my people in Louisiana, but people in America to know where I stand.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of admiration
Which
for
Trump does not believe in elections, so
they're tough. They're tough as a boot.
they're happy to say they support democracy until Daddy Trump tell them not to.
Now, do I want a better life for the Palestinians? Absolutely. And I remember under President Clinton, he offered the Palestinians a deal to give them their own country, a big chunk of the West Bank, give them Gaza. They would have their own country. They said no. Their leadership said no.
Let's just bring that up just so I know that that's the Camp David Summit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, President Bill Clinton's primary effort to help Palestine get its own country culminated in the Clinton parameters of December 2000. This was an ambitious proposal for a two-state solution that followed the failed Camp David
Mercs.
Summit.
And the political leadership of Palestine said no.
Offered Palestine control over 94 to 95% of the West Bank, along with the equivalent of an additional 1 to 3% of land via territorial swap.
Give them 90% of.
And what happened? Oh, this was the Oslo
like 30,
Accords?
40% of the land.
The Oslo Accords were next.
Okay.
They were after Camp David.
Ultimately, a final deal was never solidified.
They're trying to give you a third of the land, guys. Why don't you just suck them off?
Negotiations brought the sides closer than ever before. Both sides voiced reservations, and the deal collapsed at the end of Clinton's term.
Yasser Arafat. Arafat was in charge of the PLO. He was the leader of the Palestinians. I think if you'd put it to a vote of the Palestinian people, they would have taken it.
Who decided no? That's how I'm trying to get to that.
Arafat
answer.
turned it down.
Okay.
And he was head of the PLO, the political organization for all of the Palestinians. But I've always believed if Arafat had put it to a vote, of the Palestinian people, they would have accepted. But Bill Clinton came that close.
Well, it says here the Israeli cabinet conditionally accepted the parameters, but issued a 20-page letter outlining reservations regarding security.
Israel, you talking about?
And borders, yeah.
No, Israel would have taken it. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying that what this says.
Yeah.
And then the Palestinian response, the Palestinian Liberation Organization accepted the framework, but also with heavy reservations. So why did it not go through? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Because Arafat backed out. And you ought to have President Clinton on your show. I'm sure he'd love to talk about it. It's one of his, I've heard him speak before, to say one of his biggest disappointments.
Really?
Because he thought he had it.
While Chairman Yasser Arafat gave qualified agreement to the parameters in January 2001, the extensive reservations submitted by both sides prevented the parameters from materializing into a formal peace treaty.
Doesn't gotta have a lot of
but this has both sides.
I would encourage you to talk to Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
You don't need more features in your backpack. You just need a backpack with better features. Let me explain. Big brands keep adding unnecessary features, increasing the price, and then calling it innovation. Power banks, USB ports, solar panels, built-in heating. It sounds impressive until it isn't. And the things that actually matter still don't work.
Protecting your tech, handling daily use, and making
I gotta stop going in without my old.
There's been kind of some more socialist candidates, right?
Yep.
Which I think is a safe term to use. There's been some
Democratic socialists.
There's been like some more socialist candidates that have popped up and have garnered a lot of support.
Yep.
Do you think that the Republican Party, is there a response to that the Republican Party should kind of have, or that the Republican Party has to that sort of happening? What is kind of the Republican Party's response to that or counteraction to that, if there is one?
Well, Senator Bernie Sanders.
You thought it was a good question?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Thanks, dude.
Senator Bernie Sanders, Congresswoman
Theo Von's
Ocasio
such a character.
Cortez, Mayor Mamdani, and Mayor of New York. Mr. Graham Plattner is running for Senate in Maine. They are socialists. They believe in a government-run economy. They believe that, my words, not theirs, you should send all your money and all of your freedom to them, and they can make decisions for you. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I believe in free enterprise. I think free enterprise has done more to lift people out of poverty than all the social.
Oh, the mercs don't matter.
They believe in defunding the police. They were behind all of that. They believe that cops are a bigger problem than criminals. They believe in defunding ICE. They believe
It's 7K damage.
That
you can't get fucking anything done.
I know some of them that they think all white people are racist. I know some of them that they think Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and Abraham Lincoln,
can't watch.
Dr. Zeus and Mr. Potato Head.
Why?
It's
such a
Mr.
CC
Potato
diff.
Is racist. Bring him up. He's mixed, isn't he?
I mean, I don't believe.
I mean,
that.
he's half russet.
I don't think
Dude, well, hold on.
Well, yeah, there's Mr. Potato Head.
Bro, and look, first of all, look at the second Mr. Potato Head. Look at Mr. Potato Head.
I just remember
that guy.
You tell him the first Mr. Potato Head.
Okay, bring that your first
Upcycle.
That was the one they
What
got
the fuck is
mad
that?
at. No, there was another one.
Bro, what are you talking about? Steve Harvey played him too?
Look at the one in the middle on the second row.
He gets all the roles.
They got mad.
Dude.
They said the creators of Mr. Potato Head were racist.
Oh, come on, bro.
They like survivability
I
and
didn't know
mobility.
that's what you meant. I thought you meant the potato itself, man. The potato definitely.
Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, the potato definitely. He's from Jackson. But yeah, I don't think he's racist at all. The creators of it.
I don't think Dr. Zeus was racist.
No, he wasn't racist. I don't think so at all, dude. The Cat in the Hat.
I remember.
That's a black guy.
But my point is,
Horton here's a who? You tell that's not racist at all.
America.
It should be Horton here's a what? Or I don't know. Never mind. Go on. America what?
America's not perfect, but we're good, and we caught the disease of slavery, but we beat it back.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation about how slavery started and where it started and what exactly happened. And I do think that over time, there's definitely this constant there's definitely a ploy, it seems like, by the media sometimes that tries to tries to keep people locked into like a victim mentality sometimes.
That's true.
And it's okay to be a victim sometimes, but if all you are is a victim, I think it's tough to move forward sometimes.
It is.
For any of us, regarding anything.
Get some raw gold.
What do you think are some of the pitfalls of long terms of like socialism that maybe people don't see that have happened in the past? If you have an example.
I do not believe that the people in the Democratic
I
Socialist
got my headphones
Party
wrapped around my fucking
that I just
chair.
named, some of them I know. Senator Sanders is a friend of mine. I believe deep down they think they're smarter and more virtuous than the American people, and that they can make decisions for the country, and the country will be better off. And I respectfully disagree with them.
Yeah.
I trust the American people. This is the greatest country in all of human history. The whole world knows it. Everybody wants to come here. When's the last time you heard of somebody trying to sneak into China? People want to come here.
From North Korea.
And it's because we believe in free enterprise. We believe that our future can be better than our present or our past. We believe in free will and responsibility. You know, most Americans, they don't read Aristotle every day because they're busy earning a living. But they're plenty smart.
Yeah.
They don't need a soul-crushing federal government to run their lives. And free enterprise works. Socialism, name one country where it worked. It doesn't work in Cuba.
The Sermon on the Mount is the longest continuous discourse attributed to Christ in the Gospels, and it's widely regarded as containing the central doctrines of Christian faith.
Oh, I don't even know what to build.
Come. Well, that would be good. You might say, well, what is the shared goal that should unite a whole society or a person? And that's partly what the Sermon on the Mount is about. It's like, what should you be aiming at? Well, something like the city on the hill. What's being outlined here is the best approach. It's the best approach in all possible ways. There's this tremendous emphasis in Christianity on embodiment. That's why Christ is a carpenter, not a thinker, not a priest even. It's a pattern of behavior to emulate, to act out, to embody. All of what we're laying out is a landscape of faith, right? Should you aim up or down? That's not a question you can answer by sifting the evidence. And that's where the element of faith comes in, is that regardless of the catastrophe of existence, I will do good.
How does that
What you want to do is welcome the unknown.
Oh, the CC diff's insane.
And change you into what you could be.
I think I figured out what to build though.
Milton loves rocks, so he bought a .rocks domain name with Squarespace, so you can see his rocks and buy his rocks and sit on his rocks.
Yeah.
It didn't work in Argentina. It didn't work in the former Soviet Union.
Yeah, that's what I think sometimes if we do get to that place of it, where if it were to grow that much, that could it work? Is it different? Would something be different this time? I don't know. You know, it's interesting to think about, you know, if it ever was really tried earnestly. It's hard to know. I'm not voting in.
It was tried earnestly in Cuba.
Yeah.
And we see how that turned out.
Yeah.
It was tried earnestly under Perón in
But do you think that Castro was like in the end he kind of became corrupted, right?
He was very corrupt. They've always been.
But do you think in the beginning he was like he tried to play himself as Ernest, probably?
I don't know.
Right.
I think he believed in the socialist philosophy.
Right. But in the end, it just became about him.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And Senator Bernie Sanders, I think he's been on your show.
Yeah, I love Bernie. I love him, dude.
Bernie.
He comes
Bernie's
in, he's got
a
his
hoot.
bag.
Yeah.
We've sent him a little thing. He's like, I just want a couple of cookies on a plate. Like he's like Santa.
It took me a long time to get to know Bernie because he's I thought he just didn't like me because he can be kind of gruff, but he's kind of gruff. And I remember one day I got him to smile. I was walking over to the Capitol with another senator to vote, and Bernie passed me by, and he didn't speak. And I leaned over and I said, Bernie. He said, what? I said, pay your taxes, man. We need the money. And he got a little smile. But he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But he is genuinely a socialist. And he honestly believes that if you made money in business, that you did it by taking advantage of somebody or you stole it. And that's not been my experience. I know many successful businesswomen and businessmen that have created a lot of jobs. They earn the money honestly. When you started out, nobody gave it to you. You did it through hard work. You took risks. If you had failed, the government wasn't going to be there to bail you out.
Yeah.
And that, most of the businesses in America are small businesses. And these are people that sometimes they mortgage their home to take a risk. And they work hard and they create jobs. And I think that's American. That's why we're the greatest country in all of human history.
Amen.
Do you think? But not everybody agrees with it.
Well, I mean,
it's okay.
Just a 2.3K true damage ult, whatever. Holy shit. I get hit with anything, I'm cooked.
At this point, you're probably not avoiding therapy because of stigma. You're probably avoiding therapy because you've become very good at coping. So good that you stop noticing how heavy everything feels. As a therapist who goes to therapy herself, it's important to remember that your mind and body hold on to every stressor you don't have time to process. That stress shows up as exhaustion, irritability, shutdown, or feeling overloaded in a way you just can't explain. Therapy can help you start releasing it.
But we did end up fucking, and it was cool and everything. Hairy, but Jewish, it was fine. I woke up the next morning, no foreskin. Where did it go?
Wow. Frankie.
That didn't happen, though. No, she's not mad that I told everybody that, because it's literally what happened.
Yeah, the Jewish girls get mad about anything.
She complains a little.
Yeah. But this wasn't your first Jewish rodeo.
Oh, God, no.
You love the Jewish...
I'm sniffing them out. I got a...
Wow.
I like to invest. I like to...
It's like Inglourious Basterds. He goes into bars. He's like, are you harboring enemies of the state? I'm going to speak Spanish now.
Amazing, Frankie. Congratulations. Very fun set. Very fun interview. Here's a big joke book. There you go.
So much.
Frankie Gonzalez making his Kill Tony debut. We are rolling, everybody. How do you do? This podcast is sponsored by Cheers Health. Recently I woke up after a totally normal night of drinking alcohol and still felt bad the next day, even though I drank responsibly. I did everything right. Water, food, sleep, and somehow it didn't matter. I felt awful. And then I discovered Cheers Restore.
The 50th Vice President of the United States and author of 2 #1 best-selling books, Hillbilly Elegy, and the one that's out now, Communion, Finding My Way Back to Faith, J.D. Vance, our Vice President.
How does he get that many cheers? I guess it is Bill Maher, but still. Wild.
Do I have the nicest crowd?
I'm sure it's the only applause I'll get, but I'll take it.
No, I'm just glad you're talking to me. I say it every time when the Republicans come here, they take their beating like a man. It's the people I vote for. They're the ones who won't talk to me. That's odd, isn't it?
It is very odd.
And I probably...
Well, like this new woman who was elected in New York. Do you think she'll come on the show?
Oh, I know you want... No, I can't get AOC. I can't get Mandami. I couldn't get Kamala Harris. It took me 8 years to get Obama. Anyway, let's not talk about my problems. And I promise this is going to be a lot easier than talking to the Iranians. or even more, The View.
The question is whether it's harder than The View. That's right.
But look, you're negotiating for America. I'm rooting for America, so I want success here. But, you know, you come out of these meetings, I heard sort of the same thing. I've heard a lot of talk about progress and that. I've heard it so many times before. Why is this different? Why isn't it bullshit this time?
Well, I'd say the most important thing, Bill, is that the people who judge whether the oil is actually flowing, they judge this as a success, right? So if you look at oil right now, it's back down to $73 a barrel, got up to $126 a barrel. So there's a signal that there's something real going on here. I think the second, Bill, is whether we make the final deal, because you have to remember this MOU is fundamentally, it says the straits are going to be open, the oil is going to flow. We're seeing that happen already. It's also a ceasefire, which, as you pointed out, is always going to be a little messy when you're dealing with the Iranians. But if we make the final deal, then great. If we don't make the final deal, their nuclear program is still destroyed. They're still much weaker as a country. So my attitude is America wins either way. But I do think that what the president has done is asked us to do something that, frankly, nobody in 47 years of dealing with the Iranians has done, which is offer them an opportunity to fundamentally transform how they behave with the West. They've been the largest state sponsor of terrorism basically since they began as a nation, or at least as an Islamic republic 47 years ago. He's saying, look, if they're willing to change, we're willing to change too. If they're not willing to change, we still fundamentally have all the cards, and I think it's a good place for us to be.
But their program isn't destroyed. The nuclear program isn't destroyed. I mean, I don't know any of our objectives. And look, I said
what part is not destroyed?
Well, we didn't get in there. The whole thing was we have to get in there and see. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this.
Well, let me say,
we didn't.
First of all, so a nuclear program, and I'm hardly a nuclear scientist, I'm a lonely politician, but the thing that you have to destroy is their ability to enrich uranium, which has been destroyed. You have to destroy their ability. Well, because you need functioning centrifuges that can actually spin.
All the time about, we got to get in there and we got to get the dust.
Okay,
and we didn't get in there, so how do we get the dust?
So that's actually a separate question. So there's the highly enriched stockpile, which, by the way, was allowed to accumulate over 20 years of previous administrations. That enriched stockpile
But the greatest,
is something that we want to get. But
I don't even know if that's true. But I know they did produce the most after Trump tore up the Obama deal.
To turn it into a nuclear weapon. So the program is functionally destroyed. We're just talking about, can we set them back even further through these negotiations?
Okay. I only have limited time with this, so I want to move on to other topics. I want to tell you what people have been saying to me.
I got a scale. I'm trolling.
Wow, you have the vice president on. I'm pretty impressed myself.
I'm very excited about this.
You know, I had Pence on. I've had both his vice presidents. A couple of weeks ago, Pence was here. I'm killing it with the vice president.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but...
And now you're meeting with the Hang Mike Pence party.
What did you talk about with Mike Pence? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
I don't know. He was a lot more human than I thought than I'd ever seen him. I even asked him to come on my podcast where I get stoned, and he was like, maybe. So it was great. But here's what people, when I say you, here's what sticks in their craw. Okay. The number one issue, immigration. Not immigration. We like it that you closed the border. That needed to be done. The people who were here, the way you treated, I'm talking about your administration. You weren't out there yourself. But ICE, all that shit, too rough, too mean, too unnecessary. I think you got, I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, I'm just giving you some advice as a friend. Okay? And I am. And I'm not saying, I'm not asking.
Why does he think that's so funny?
I'm just saying,
like, advice as a friend. Ha ha ha.
Getting people who are just completely shut the door to you and your administration, if you would just own that you guys went too far. You went too far, and you should own it like you did Charles's cat ladies.
Okay. So here's the basic problem with that bill is you cannot do any deportations without law enforcement, and you can't do
and you can't shoot unarmed Americans in the back.
Some situations that don't look good when they're recorded like that. I mean, let me give you like just one obvious example. Let's just set aside the immigration element of this, okay? If you take a guy who's committed murder and you go in and arrest that guy, sometimes that person's going to resist arrest. Sometimes if you take a video of it and it's out of context and you don't appreciate
Except
why
the
that
violence,
person was
especially
being
against
arrested in the
American
first place,
citizens, is
it looks
so
pretty
fucking like
if you take
mundane.
that out of
Like
context video clip. And what I worry about
Like
is
what they're
when
doing
people
is so
say you
mundane,
can't
and then they
do
just get met
immigration
with
enforcement
being
if it
pushed,
produces a
shoved,
bad
guns
video clip.
pointed
What
at.
they're really saying is you can't ever actually do immigration
What a fucking
enforcement.
goober.
We had 12 million people come into the country, into the interior over the last 4 years, or I should say from 2021 to 2025. And we were elected with a mandate to get some of those people out of the United States of America. You can't do that easily. Law enforcement deporting people is never an easy process. So I appreciate your argument that we've gone too far, but we couldn't do nothing. And I don't think there was an easy way to do this.
Of course, there's a middle ground. See, the other thing that bothers us about stuff like that is that nothing ever lands in the middle, which is what I'm always trying to get people to do.
I thought you were crazy liberal.
Because you don't watch the show. You should watch the show.
I actually do watch the show.
I was like, he gets so much hate from like hardcore liberals. If he did watch the show, he would know.
It was fair.
He was the guy that got so much shit for meeting with Trump and all that.
I know
Like,
someone in your administration who watches the show. Because I always hear about it. Okay.
You're right. The second lady, she's a big fan. Second lady's a big fan of Bill Maher.
But what we hate is that the pendulum never lands in the middle. You're right. Biden did let in too many people. And it just boggles the mind why he did that. But then it has to go all the way to the other side. Always. Nothing can ever land in the middle. Did they go too far? Probably in the Pentagon with DEI and yes, and now Pete Hegseth is like firing everyone who's not whiter than an albino.
No, he's not. Come on, Bill.
It certainly looks that way.
Well, but Bill, this is, you've got to be.
Nothing lands in the middle.
I disagree with that. I think sometimes things do land right where they should, but just you take this story about Pete Hegseth. Obviously, I'm biased. I like Pete. But if you look at the actual promotions that we've done, there have been a lot of people from all walks of life. There have been some
I'm getting stuff in my
people where
Twitch
you say,
chat
"You know
that's not
what?
showing
I
up
don't
on
think they
my
merited a promotion."
restream.
But the idea that we're not promoting minorities in the Pentagon under Pete
Weird.
Hegseth, it's just not true. And I do think that sometimes your criticism is things don't land in the middle, and I understand that. Sometimes the problem is the media reports things in such a way where they actually obfuscate or conceal the truth rather than reporting what's actually going on.
Of course they do. They all do. That's why you have to read both sides.
Yeah,
well, don't read the liberal side
recommendation
though.
is if you read a news story and it says something bad about me, you should disbelieve it. It's probably lying. Whereas if you read a news story that says something nice,
right? That's one way to look at it. But okay, but I'm just trying to help you with your issues, because I'll tell you something.
You, me, and 100 friends. This is like political therapy here with Bill Maher.
Because I'll tell you something.
Bill Maher's less funny than I remember. Maybe it's just JD,
I'm
but
sure you want to talk about. We're going to talk about on the panel, but the Democratic Socialists.
I'm actually here to talk about my
it's
book.
reaching to call these jokes.
We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. But
it's called Communion, available wherever books are sold.
Right. But just one more thing about this, and then we'll get to the book.
Okay.
Okay. Like, if this is where the Democratic Party is going, where this democratic socialist, this obsession with Israel, with the Jew hating, they don't believe in capitalism, no prisons. If this is where they're going, my vote is in play.
Okay.
And
I like to hear that.
It actually always has been. Every year, I don't make my decision by who has an R or a D. I actually always came to the conclusion that the Democrat was probably better.
Sure.
And voted for them.
Okay.
And Trump can't run again, and he'd be a little too exciting for me anyway. So it's either going to be you or Rubio. Here's my deal breaker for your side.
Okay.
Okay. Under Trump, you guys have two outcomes that an election can be. Either we win or they cheated. That shit has to stop. And the person who...
Mark's Mage could be good. They're pretty squishy.
The person who has to stop it would be you or Marco. Can you tell me you will do that? Will you bring us back to the middle, at least on that, where we concede elections, where it's not either one of those two options?
Okay, Bill, so this is where I'm probably going to lose you here, but here's...
That happened about 8 minutes ago.
Look, I don't think that we should not concede elections, but I don't think that's what's going on. I think that if you go back to the president's core argument, he was making an argument about problems that existed in 2020. And here's the problem that I'm most focused on. The president and I have talked a lot about this, and I think we share a perspective here, but set to the side the stuff that really gets you and your audience very angry about whether the count was legitimate in Georgia or Pennsylvania or any of these other states. Is it true that large technology companies, some of whom have financial interests that exist outside the United States of America, were they censoring information in the run-up to an election? And set to the side the stuff, again, the Georgia stuff, but that
was litigated. Dominion, the Fox News paid us.
I'm trying to make the more middle ground argument here. The biggest criticism I had of the 2020 election is that you had technology companies that were quite literally censoring negative information about the left and promoting
The only thing they can reach at for that is the fucking Hunter Biden shit. And everybody knew about the Hunter Biden shit.
Judge based on that free and open debate. The sense
Just
in which
making
I
shit
think the
up.
election in 2020 was rigged,
Off
I'm
in La La
sorry,
Land.
is that you had technology companies that were putting their thumb on the scale in a way that completely obliterated the real open exchange of ideas. Now, by the way, it didn't happen in 2024, but it happened in 2020, and it was a problem.
Well, you're going to get a big pat on the back when you go back to the White House. All right. Let's talk about your book, Communion. I think it's very interesting because, you know, I always want to talk about what people have in common. I used to be Catholic. You're a Catholic now.
That's right.
You used to be an atheist. I'm an atheist now. So we've been over to the same ground.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were born a Baptist. This is about your spiritual journey.
That's right.
Which is really
That's right.
interesting. And by the way, well, very personal.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little of Gavin Newsom. He has a book here, and I was very surprised. It didn't look like his book. Had you read his book?
People bought my book. That's the difference between.
Okay, well, whatever.
Sorry. Was that mean?
I'm just saying, that's fine. Well, I'm just saying, politicians are getting a lot more real when they write. You know, it's not like that old kind of book, you know.
Sure.
And it's about your moving toward the. I'm just asking why the Catholics? Why go? I didn't have a good experience with them. Why did you could have went Hindu. Your wife's a Hindu.
Well, we should talk about that.
Well, that wouldn't
in
have
a
played
longer
well to the
setting, not
political
just to
base,
do this in
so-
front of the audience.
Do the podcast.
Okay, all right, we'll do the podcast.
I'll get down.
I'm not going to smoke weed though. I don't want to ruin my political career even more than I've already ruined it by sitting here right now.
We don't make the guest smoke.
I mean, here's. Let me try to answer that question. Okay, so first of all, I think that there's a core truth of the Catholic or the Christian faith that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that all people need grace. Okay, but that fundamental truth that I believe in, I didn't land there. I didn't start there. What I saw was what I would call echoes of that truth in a lot of the people who live their lives in very, very charitable and good ways. But I think with Catholicism in particular, what's interesting about it, because I meet a lot of young Catholic converts, is they start to discover that truth because they're attracted to the beauty and the stability of it. I think people are craving in a modern world where we build ugly buildings and everything is constantly changing and social networks have changed, even how, men and women date one another. I think that people are craving something that is more stable and that calls us to something more beautiful. And I think that was one of the ways that I found Christianity. Now, it's interesting because I've actually gotten criticisms. One of the things I talk about in the book is I was a striver. And I think that was very bad. I think it's wrong to be ambitious for ambition's sake. If you want to be ambitious, you should be trying to accomplish something meaningful. And it was my Christian faith that encouraged me to actually worry about things that matter, like being a good husband, being a good dad, being a good community member. Now, I get criticism from some Christians who say, well, that might be true, but then you've got to talk about Jesus too. But I think my point is, and as I talk about in the book, available wherever bookstores are sold, or wherever books are sold, again, it is that I started seeing refractions of the truth of the Christian gospel, and that got me on a pathway to where I eventually accepted the truth that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. But I think all of us have our own path. You obviously have yours, but it's not over yet, man, so I still have hope for you.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that you have hope for me, and I for you. Vice President J.D. Vance.
What do you do when you need to grow your team fast? You use Upwork to tap specialized talent across 125 categories.
My chief of staff is from Upwork. Leveraging Upwork is a huge secret advantage that we have.
Sign up and post a job for free.
Artlist Studio is here, and it has controls built with video creators in mind, so you can intuitively direct any dream production. Like you're actually on set. I can create characters that will fit the world, down to the voice. So I leave nothing up to chance. Why is that tank there? I build the locations down to the last element, so they align with my vision just right. And with camera angles, camera movements, and lenses, I never have to compromise ever again.
To orange!
So go to Artlist and start creating without limits.
Everybody.
To this story, but I want to talk about it all the same. August of 1980, British rock band Queen made a song called Another One Bites the Dust, and when interviewed about it, frontman Freddie Mercury had this to say as to why he named the track this.
And right now,
Yeah, I think Britain will be in a simultaneous state of economic, political, and social decay in the next 40 years. It'll necessitate a rapid change in the number of prime ministers. So that's why I wrote this song, this catchy tune, darling.
So prescient! How did he know? Because now we flash forward 40 years, and Britain is going through prime minister after prime minister after prime minister. And just recently, another one bit the dust. Now, about a month and a half ago, we said this on this channel. And then he's facing increasing calls to resign. In fact, they even got the classic traditional British photo of you looking like a piece of shit in the back of a car. And you know it's over. Once they get one of these photos, this is British classic, bro. Once they get one of these photos, it's like, oh, you're cooked. Well, he's cooked. Because as of about a day and a half ago,
has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party.
He stepped down. Keir Starmer got up in front of 10 Downing Street, as so many prime ministers have done recently, and said, I'm stepping down. What can you say about him that he hasn't said about himself?
But, Mr. Speaker, I am a gooner, and so...
Gooner.
He's the 7th leader in a decade. Now that sounds like a lot, obviously. 7 leaders in a decade sounds like a lot, but where does it compare to other countries? If you put it on a chart, you'll notice that it's actually pretty damn extreme. And this chart only goes to 6, but in fact, once the next prime minister comes in after Keir Starmer, it will be 7, which makes me think again of Keir Starmer.
6, 7. Yeah. 6, 7. Everybody, 6, 7. Are you doing page 6, 7?
We're not over that yet.
So, this is like the of any major economy right now, they're going through more leaders than anyone else. And it's a sign of complete turbulence, of dissatisfaction, of resentment and anger in the British electorate. They just keep flip-flopping back and forth between different leaders, and nobody's making any real progress on the actual change. Now, you'll notice, the US is at 3, France is at 2, Spain's at 2. All these countries have their own problems. There's a few countries down here at just 1 for the entire time, and they're putting out some propaganda about it. This came from one of the Chinese accounts, Chinese foreign ministry accounts, pointing out that they've just had one guy the whole time since 2012. Odd flex, to be honest. That might be too few. But you might be asking, you know, this is the rise and fall of Keir Starmer. Where did it all go wrong? What happened with this guy? And the truth is that while Keir Starmer was not very charismatic, he was considered a bit of a robot.
You seem more like a political robot. How are you going to convince others like me to vote for you?
Well, the most...
He wasn't very good on his feet. He wasn't good in front of a crowd. He wasn't good at getting people inspired. He wasn't good at delivering a coherent message. While this is all true, and while he did have some scandals, including appointing an ambassador to the United States who was implicated in the Epstein files, and accepting a large number of gifts from political donators, it's hard to say these are individually the reason why he was brought down when you zoom out and look at this larger trend in the British electorate, okay? I mean, for example, one of his major scandals was that he got £100,000 of tickets and gifts, more than any other recent party leader. However, the person that's now polling ahead of him, that might be a future prime minister of the UK, God hopefully not, Nigel Farage, got $5 million in gifts and said openly, I can spend it on Ferraris or betting on horses if I want. It's not hypocritical to criticize Keir Starmer for receiving glasses, even though I received a lot more. And like, he's not receiving nearly as much flack. So the idea that it's like just individual scandals, I think is not, I think it's a larger problem deeper in the heart of Britain. And to look into it, we're gonna go take a look back a bit at the last
This should be a free win.
His last 10 years of prime ministers to see if we can find a coherent pattern. First, I want to say, as he got up in front of 10 Downing Street and gave his final speech,
England is
he
like
has been
beyond
outlasted.
collapsed.
All of these prime
It's
ministers we're talking
insane.
about have been outlasted by one cat. This is Larry the cat. He lives at this address, and he has outlasted all 6 British prime ministers.
Why don't they just have Larry the cat
And
be
what's
prime
crazy
minister
is
then?
Every time another one of them steps.
Some people will say, I don't believe in
think that's
morality.
the
But then if you
answer.
present them with specific moral transgressions, suddenly you'll see the moral outrage activate. Moral philosophy has long been concerned with how people should behave. What moral principles should we live by? How should you live a good life? Whereas moral psychology is more about
Steps down, you have a photo of this cat looking menacing in the background. It's like Jar Jar Binks. It's like evil Jar Jar. Maybe this cat is the reason. You got people on internet saying Larry the cat for prime minister, he's outlasted all of them. So let's go all the way back. I want to try and find a pattern here. And we'll start 10 years ago with David Cameron. David Cameron comes into office as prime minister of the UK. He's the golden boy of the Conservative Party, the Tories. And he's got quick wit. He's sharp on his feet. He's considered pretty charismatic. He's good at talking to trees.
That's the most important thing of all, winning the trust of people that have put their trust in us, many of them for the first time, and Boris will have my full support as he does that.
Well, I don't know why he's talking to a tree.
And he comes into power, and he is one of the Conservative Tories who
didn't
is
hit.
against the idea of
Bull.
Britain leaving the EU. He is Tories against Brexit. But there's a splinter wing of the Conservative Party who is more and more cheering, let's get out of the EU. Let's Brexit. This is back in pre-2016, led by Nigel Farage, for example. We want our country back. We want to leave. Okay? So David Cameron makes a gamble. He says, in order to unite our party and prevent this splintering, all have a vote. We'll have a public vote on this and we'll be done with it. Because in his mind, there is no chance that Brexit actually passes. David Cameron makes the original sin of calling for this vote, thinking there is no way he is going to lose. Unfortunately, the rallies get bigger. Screw the EU. We've been betrayed. Believe in Britain. British nationalism starts to rise. They start stomping on the European flag. And all of a sudden, as the election's actually held, despite vehement protests and speeches by the Prime Minister, David Cameron, Britain votes 52% to 48% to leave the EU. And it passes in 2016. David Cameron is crushed. His whole plan has backfired. And so he steps down and says, I cannot be your prime minister and lead you through Brexit. I don't support Brexit. So the toll is now won. One prime minister down, and the primary cause, Brexit. He can't lead them through it. So the Conservatives have to put up a new prime minister. By the way, a very brief aside, to explain how their system works, The UK is divided into like 650 different constituencies. They all elect a member of parliament. The member of parliament party that has the, well, they have to sometimes combine parties. Whoever gets the majority puts up one leader as their prime minister. The people don't vote directly for a prime minister, okay? The parties pick it. People vote for a party in their region. Their party has the most seats, picks a prime minister, okay? So when someone steps down, all the members of the party get together and pick a new leader. It's not like a vote. So the Conservative Party says, okay, we got a new leader for you. It's Theresa May. Seen here enjoying some chips, as they call them in jolly old England. Theresa May's next up. Now, she has many different skills. Number one, she's an incredible and natural dancer. Theresa May steps up and she has one goal in mind, okay? She's read the room, and the goal is get Brexit done.
Brexit means Brexit, and we're going to make a success of it. Brexit means Brexit. I'm very clear, Brexit does mean Brexit.
Brexit means Brexit, okay? Maybe this guy stepped down because he's too much of a coward to get Brexit done. But everybody voted for it, and now we have to do it. So, she spends all her time in office pushing to make Brexit happen. And then...
It is, and will always remain, a matter of deep regret to me that I have not been able to deliver Brexit.
She couldn't do it. She spent a few years, she couldn't get Brexit done, and so she stepped down. That's 2 prime ministers down because of Brexit. Number 2 claims another one. So now, we are in 2019, roughly. It's been 3 years since people voted for Brexit. It still hasn't happened. Everyone's still angry about it. Most of the, I mean, not most of the country, I won't give you that, but a lot of the country, especially the intelligent part of the country, is like, let's not actually do it. Let's not do it. But now, 3rd time's the charm. Enter Boris Johnson, aka British Trump. Boris Johnson comes in and says, nuh-uh. This time, Brexit for fucking real. He says, do or die.
Pushing our plan into action.
So we understand.
And getting ready to come out on October the
31st.
31st, correct.
Come what may.
Come what may.
Do or die.
Come what may. Do or die. Come what may.
As for that
he says it over and over. Do or die. October 31st. We will get Brexit done. I don't care. The people voted for it. I'm the prime minister for the job. We're getting out of the EU. It's happening. And then the day comes and it passes and it doesn't happen. This is 2019. So now we're in 2019. October 31st has happened. Do or die, and they still haven't gotten Brexit. Finally, after giving up a bunch of concessions, after forcing it through, after pissing off a lot of trade deals in the EU, after pissing off people within the country, they just forced through Brexit in one of the worst possible implementations, and they get out of the EU. And this happens exactly
I would have got that Q on.
January of 2020.
The heel probably would have saved me.
Thankfully, it's time for the world to rest easy. This big economic shock won't be paired with anything else, and we can finally at least figure out what's going on with Brexit.
It's a ship. Those flashes
They are
of
so
light,
AD
those are its
heavy.
engines.
One needs to go pretty hard.
It's nothing like any spacecraft I've ever seen. Humanity isn't alone in the universe, and I've just met our neighbors.
Oh wait, are we fucking losing? I was fucking shopping. Are you serious? Oh my god. I thought it would take longer for them to push. I threw that.
Now, Boris Johnson is heading the UK at a time of true national crisis. England is poorly managed during the pandemic.
I could fucking 1v5,
excess
and I
death rate in
threw.
all of Europe. And this hits at the exact same time as they abandon all their trade relationships within the EU. So the combination of Brexit plus COVID causes one of the biggest falls
As soon as I got my
in real
champion, I'm
GDP per
a
capita
piss.
that any country had in the world. Just an absolute collapse.
They still haven't
UK
recovered.
Real living standards.
That's
At
crazy.
the same time as this completely destroys the UK economy, and everyone is being forced to lock down because of this pandemic, Boris Johnson decides this is the time to party. And he's caught on camera doing multiple parties while telling everyone else they can't gather and they can't be out unmasked. And this becomes known as Partygate in the EU. And so he gets up in front of 10 Downing Street and resigns.
Bill of the Parliamentary Conservative Party, that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister.
So that's another one down. Now that one's not entirely on Brexit, but it's a big part of it. Brexit, I would say, claims a coherent pattern. First, I want to say, as he got up in front of 10 Downing Street and gave his final speech, he has been outlasted. All of these prime ministers we're going to talk about have been outlasted by one cat. This is Larry the cat. He lives at this address and he has outlasted all 6 British prime ministers, this one cat. And what's crazy is every time another one of them steps down, you have a photo of this cat looking menacing in the background. It's like Jar Jar Binks. It's like evil Jar Jar. Maybe this cat is the reason. You got people on internet saying Larry the cat for prime minister, he's outlasted all of them. So let's go all the way back. I want to try and find a pattern here. And we'll start 10 years ago with David Cameron. David Cameron comes into office as Prime Minister of the UK. He's the golden boy of the Conservative Party, the Tories. And he's got quick wit. He's sharp on his feet. He's considered pretty charismatic. He's good at talking to trees.
That's the most important thing of all, winning the trust of people that have put their trust in us, many of them for the first time, and Boris will have my full support as he does that.
Well, I don't know why he's talking to a tree.
And he comes into power, and he is one of the Conservative Tories who is against the idea of Britain leaving the EU. He is Tories against Brexit. But there's a splinter wing of the Conservative Party who is more and more cheering, let's get out of the EU, let's Brexit. This is back in, pre-2016, led by Nigel Farage, for example. We want our country back, we want to leave, okay? So David Cameron makes a gamble. He says, in order to unite our party and prevent this splintering, I'll have a vote. We'll have a public vote on this and we'll be done with it. Because in his mind, there is no chance that Brexit actually passes. David Cameron makes the original sin of calling for this vote, thinking there is no way he is going to lose. Unfortunately, the rallies get bigger. Screw the EU, we've been betrayed. Believe in Britain. British nationalism starts to rise. They start stomping on the European flag. And all of a sudden, as the election's actually held, despite vehement protests and speeches by the Prime Minister, David Cameron, Britain votes 52% to 48% to leave the EU. And it passes in 2016. David Cameron is crushed. His whole plan has backfired. And so he steps down and says, I cannot be your prime minister and lead you through Brexit. I don't support Brexit. So the toll is now won. One prime minister down, and the primary cause, Brexit. He can't lead them through it. So the Conservatives have to put up a new prime minister. By the way, a very brief aside, to explain how their system works, the UK is divided into like 650 different constituencies. They all elect a member of parliament. The member of parliament party that has they have to sometimes combine parties. Whoever gets the majority puts up one leader as their prime minister. The people don't vote directly for a prime minister, okay? The parties pick it. People vote for a party in their region. Whichever party has the most seats picks a prime minister, okay? So when someone steps down, all the members of the party get together and pick a new leader. It's not like a vote. So the Conservative Party says, okay, we got a new leader for you. It's Theresa May. Seen here enjoying some chips, as they call them in jolly old England. Theresa May's next up. Now, she has many different skills. Number one, she's an incredible and natural dancer. Theresa May steps up and she has one goal in mind, okay? She's read the room, and the goal is get Brexit done.
Brexit means Brexit, and we're going to make a success of it. Brexit means Brexit. I'm very clear, Brexit does mean Brexit.
Brexit means Brexit, okay? Maybe this guy stepped down because he's too much of a coward to get Brexit done. But everybody voted for it, and now we have to do it. So she spends all her time in office pushing to make Brexit happen. And then
it is and will always remain a matter of deep regret to me but I have not been able to deliver Brexit.
She couldn't do it. She spent a few years, she couldn't get Brexit done, and so she stepped down. That's 2 prime ministers down because of Brexit. Number 2 claims another one. So now we are in 2019, roughly. It's been 3 years since people voted for Brexit. It still hasn't happened. Everyone's still angry about it. Most of the, I mean, not most of the country, I won't give the exact, but a lot of the country, especially the intelligent part of the country, is like, let's not actually do it. Let's not do it. But now, 3rd time's the charm. Enter Boris Johnson, AKA British Trump. Boris Johnson comes in and says, nuh-uh. This time, Brexit for fucking real. He says, do or die.
Pushing our plan into action.
So we understand.
And getting ready to come out on October the
31st.
31st, correct.
Come what may.
Come what may.
Do or die.
Come what may. Do or die. Come what may.
As for that
he says it over and over. Do or die. October 31st, we will get Brexit done. I don't care. The people voted for it. I'm the prime minister for the job. We're getting out of the EU. It's happening. And then the day comes and it passes and it doesn't happen. This is 2019. So now we're in 2019. October 31st has happened. Do or die, and they still haven't gotten Brexit. Finally, after giving up a bunch of concessions, after forcing it through, after pissing off a lot of trade deals in the EU, after pissing off people within the country, they just force through Brexit in one of the worst possible implementations, and they get out of the EU.
It was rough.
This happens exactly in January of 2020. Thankfully, it's time for the world to rest easy. This big economic shock won't be paired with anything else, and we can finally at least figure out what's going on with Brexit. Uh-oh. Now, Boris Johnson is heading the UK at a time of true national crisis.
That these tanks work is.
This is way too high right now. This is way too high. What are we at? I'm here in the Carpe warehouse with BMX legend Terry Adams. And for every handlebar spin he gets into one wheelie, you get 1% off. Terry, you ready?
You're about to get this for free.
Terry, we cannot afford that. Please do not do that. Oh no, why did I agree to this?
Water's the heaviest. It sits on the bottom.
Take me to the tank.
Yeah, let's go take a look. Come on. How's it going?
It's going.
You know this man?
Tommy, nice to meet you.
I did after last night. My son's introduced me to you.
Oh, nice. Thank you. How long you been in the oil business?
My whole life.
When did you start?
14.
14? How old are you now?
54.
Okay, so what do you do here?
Basically, I keep the lease operating. This one's a little different than your normal average old well or gas well facility. This one's it's more of a plant. They call it a water dry. Okay, so what we do is we make a lot of water. Okay, and what we do is we skim the oil off the top of it and obviously sell the oil and maintain it. But we put the water back down whole. So we're rotating all the product down in the earth, in other words.
First of all, you have the voice of a manly man. I just want to tell you that. And then this water is basically getting recycled, so
exactly
it's keep
right.
processing the oil over and over and over. What kind of stuff do you have to know to do your job?
First of all, you got to be hard-headed, not take any days off, and learn from everybody that you get around. This is just something that you learn from people over time.
What does a work week look like for you?
I work 7 days a week. A good week looks like 50.
You got a wife?
Yes.
How's your work week going at home?
Fine.
7 days a week is a lot.
Yep.
365?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So let's talk about this closed loop system, right? I want you to think about the earth for a second. Out here, we've got a blanket of formation that rolls at about 5,400 feet. And in that formation, there's a lot of water. Water is the heaviest, it sits on the bottom, oil floats on top, and gas goes to the cap of it. That's what these big separators do. The water's coming through this, they're separating, oil's flowing over and going to the oil tank, water's going and getting disposed back into the well.
Simply by density, it's settling in its natural state.
Correct. So what we're doing is we are extracting the water, oil, and gas out of one well. We're ripping the oil out of it, and then we're injecting the water back into the same formation through another well. That way we keep the fluid level high. Most of our fresh water is 1,200 feet or shallower in these wells, and we're down, 5,000 to 6,000 feet.
It still blows my mind how deep in the earth you gotta go to get this stuff.
I mean, people are gonna watch this video and say, man, 5,000 feet ain't nothing. There's wells 25, 30,000 feet. They just drilled 32, 33,000 feet in Louisiana. So we're gonna go over here, we're gonna take a look at a pump jack, we're gonna get some gas to it, we're gonna fire it up, we're gonna see if we can start pumping some oil over here.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're getting ready to go up on our tank batteries. This is where the oil flows into after it's separated through the separator. And once these tanks get full, then we call in trucks. The trucks come over here, they take an 18-wheeler, they hook up to the bottom of the battery, They take the oil out and then they take it to the processing plants that's our downstream refineries, and they buy it from us as their purchaser. So it's time to climb up this bad boy. All right, so 3 points of contact at all times. Now, this field doesn't have any H2S, but you always got to be careful of whenever you're opening up these tank batteries, because a lot of times they'll have a lot of gas, but we have sensors that are out here. See the oil in there? So we do what's called strapping. We take this strap right here, we drop it down into the well, and it tells us how many inches of oil are in each of these tanks. So we're able to calculate how much production we're making on the wells every single day. Full. All right, and this right here is our secondary tank, and as you can see, she's full of black gold.
How much will you make off a tank like this?
So right now, it depends on what oil shuts in at for the end of the month. Right now, it's about $98 a barrel. So for every barrel, whenever they come, they're going to take a load. They're going to take between 155 and 165 barrels. So do 165 basically times 100, between 15 and 16 grand per load. Actually kind of create your own market and hedge right here. Think of it as this. If you're extracting a product that sells for $60 a barrel, right, and you can store X amount, you could wait a month and it could go to 100. You still have that product. What you sell it at is market value. So we've been stockpiling it so these things get full. Now oil prices jumped up. So instead of getting $60 a barrel, we're going to get almost $100 a barrel.
Yes.
Makes a big difference.
How long ago was it that it was $60 a barrel?
Shit, not that long ago. Couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Couple weeks.
And now it's about $100 a barrel.
Correct. It was about 96, 98. And so it matters what we get paid at the end of the month. So the contract for March will be locked in. April gets locked in. It depends on what we get locked in because we have a monthly contract.
How much can each of these barrels hold?
300 barrels.
And how much does 300 barrels go for right now?
Today it's just about $100. So let's call it $100.
Okay, so we're looking at $30,000 each of these barrels, and we have 8
Correct.
of them up on this platform right here.
Correct.
How long does it take to fill this entirely?
So we'll fill this up in 2 days, 2 to 3 days.
So you could do $30,000 every 2 days off this?
Yes. 150
Holy
barrels a day.
shit.
Just reach in and see. There's the glory hole. Reach in there. Wedding rings made of damn oil.
So this at the top layer is oil.
That is oil. This right here is black gold. That is it. You can come take a look in here. He'll say, that looks like water. That is not water. That is beautiful green oil right here.
Are you gonna go look at a pump jack well?
Let's do it.
Or
Kill the
ESP?
fucking Olaf. Jesus
Yeah, let's look into it.
Christ.
So is this job a pretty solitary occupation?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I love it.
What do you love most about it?
Not having to work around a whole bunch of people, getting to make my own decisions. Seems like when you got too many people around, something always gets fouled up. These are the drive boxes that we're coming up here on the right.
These Smartin drives?
These, yep, These are what we refer to as the ESP.
So what are these doing?
This is where the power actually goes down into the well. It's under the ground. You can't see it, but I can show you when we get to the well itself. See if I can get you to show you what comes up. See, this is what I was explaining. This power comes from that panel over there.
This always happens to me.
Oh, you're not the only one who gets stuck in debt. The average new credit card has a 24% APR. Most of the money you're actually paying goes towards interest. But don't panic. You can pay down those cards with a SoFi personal loan.
Even for unexpected expenses?
Exactly. You'll get a fixed rate that's way lower than your credit card, which means you're on your way up. Consolidate high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. SoFi. Get your money right.
I mean, this is an industry that if someone just got offered the opportunity to manage an oil rig, I think most people would say, I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to begin. This is not an opportunity.
What's the first question you ask before any job?
What do I got to do?
What's the pay?
What do I got to make? Yeah.
What's the pay?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, you want to work on a rig? What's it pay? What do I got to do? How long is it? People feel too entitled. You have a daughter?
Son.
Okay, you have a son, right? What do you want your son to be when he grows up?
Excited about life, working hard at what he loves.
And if he called you and said, Dad, I want to be a roughneck,
son, you got to go out and be a roughneck.
You'd tell him to chase his
If
dreams?
that was his life ambition that he was sold on,
Probably not. You want him
I
to
would
make-
encourage him if that's what he.
No, you would not use this day one. Honestly, you would not use this as something to push on your
I would
kids.
talk to him about the downside.
You would want him to make as much money as easy as possible with the least amount of work as possible. You want him to be as successful.
I don't know if that's a formula for a happy life. Doing everything as easy as possible for the most amount of money. I think also we're kind of conditioned to think that those jobs don't pay well, but I think the average plumber is making more than the average office person in this economy. The people that do pick that profession, they're going to have way too many customers and not enough competition, which is a good problem for the plumber, but a bad problem for society. There's certain things, the best way is to experience it yourself.
100%. Oh, that's what we want to drive. We want to drive people that want to come out, they want to experience things, they want to do things.
Beautiful.
All right, Tommy, so check out this oil rig. What do you think?
Looks a little like it's not producing.
Okay, this is not a rig, this is a well. Remember we went over? The rig drills the well. First things first. That being said, guys, this is an electronic submergible pump, or ESP. And some wells have different forms of artificial lift. Some of them have pump jacks. This one in particular has a power cord that goes all the way down and hooks to a pump that spins at high RPMs and moves fluid from the formation up the tubing and into the flow lines that go over to the separator.
You guys want to see what comes out of it?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Everybody back up. So this is what we're moving right now. Pretty incredible, huh?
That's oil.
And water and gas. And as it levels out, the oil will float on top of the water. You can see it sits in there, and there's your oil cut right on top. And you just gotta separate the water. And you can feel this. What do you feel? It's hot. It's from the formation. It's hot down there.
So folks, I think it was really cool. We got to learn about oil.
Getting
Something
so
that
over.
runs this world quite literally, and that we use in our everyday life we might not give much thought to. We got to go more in depth. We got to see the dirty side of this job, the rough side, but also the entrepreneurial side.
Absolutely.
If you want to check out more of Brent Franklin, both his social media and his company is linked in the description. I had fun on this journey. Had fun getting my hands dirty. Thank you, brother.
Tommy, they don't make them like you anymore, brother.
Yee. See you next week, guys.
Bro, I've seen this fucking interview.
This island in Albania that Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are trying to develop. And the reason it is like so salient today,
As hard as it is to
Ivanka
get by.
Trump did an interview that is quite possibly one of the most out of touch, read the room examples of an interview I've ever seen. Now, obviously we can all agree the world has needed a new billionaire island.
Last one got shut down
Clearly,
with Trump's
everyone's
best
been
friend.
clamoring ever since Epstein's fall. It's like, why don't we have a billionaire island? And thankfully, Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump have taken up that mantle of creating it. And that would be one thing. But to do it with this tone or this air that you discovered the island and you're like learning about inner peace is crazy. So this is why.
Project with